Hello and welcome back to the Red Rocket settlement in Fallout 4. After checking out your suggestions, I decided to mix them all up a bit, so you'll see all sorts of shit in this one. I also made some slight adjustments to the design by fucking up the orange roof and adding some more plastic hedges in front. I decided to start with the 4 pillars room. I added counters on this right side. There was no snapping, but the alignment was surprisingly friendly. My body didn't suffer at all. I placed some stools on the outer and shelves on the inner side of the counters. The middle of the room has a large white table and a thing. This is where the baby will be placed. The sides of the table contain a rug and slightly unstable chairs very close to the table. There is a couch behind both chairs. I added a large computer desk as well. The other corner of the room has Kevin Spacey's chair. I'm not sure did I mention before, but the Sanctuary settlement where the first chair is located is in another dimension, so the chair can be here. I mean, he can traverse through dimensions, but still, this is a chair. Chairs can't do that. The next room that I worked on is inside the unmovable building. This small room has 2 baby extractors, a table where the babies will be cleaned up, and a cabinet that will analyze the dirt and blood taken off of the babies. The big room with the counter is the baby transfer area. These 2 gurneys will do that, but first the babies will be logged in by a person sitting at this counter. This person will also use a microphone to announce the baby's arrival to the other room over this speaker. The open area between the 2 rooms is the secondary cleansing area where both the babies and the people transferring them will be washed. These showers will automatically activate when the gurneys approach, and the entire path has these thin counters that were a fucking chore to me the entire time I was trying to place them. The uneven ground made them go all over the place, and properly putting them was a bit annoying. It was done eventually, and then I put a grill behind the counter. I kinda forgot about that one. The next step was taking care of the sacrifice. I placed a car in the garage and some meat bags on the side. This car contains the remains of both babies and the women that they were extracted from. There is an already exploded car outside waiting for transport. Now I focused my attention to this brick room on the other side of the settlement. The first move was to separate the shop from the walking section, then adding a counter on the right side within the shop area. I collected a few dead bodies and placed them within the shop, but this stupid dog was too large and he spawned outside of the shop, so I had to cut his limbs to transfer him inside. The blood is a nice touch though. The first floor of this building is the sleeping quarters, 8 beds and a couple of cabinets with clothes. All of these 8 settlers will be workers within the settlement. This place is not designed for living, only working. The room next to it is the bathroom, a very large place with 3 bathroom stalls. At first these stalls were slapping my ass in very rude ways, because snapping worked only if I connected the stall door after placing one stall wall, and the door was in a completely different place in the inventory, which made me scroll for a billion years in order to complete one section. Luckily this preset stall was one of the options, so I just added 3 of those. The showers are fancy and were a gift from the aliens due to all the sacrifices, and the sinks are on the opposite side, looking quite shitty. The hallway between the bathroom and the metal room has a picture of the alien's original home, with his facial ornaments and flags honoring his work from the past. And now the metal room. This is where the aliens will be contacted using this alien beacon. There are 8 terminals placed around the metal room, 2 sets of 4 different ones for a different purpose. Now, before creating the billboard, I went to the room behind the shop and added chemistry stations and a couple of tables with chem boxes and coolers. So, the billboard. I added a couple of little floors to the roof above the green hedges and started adding the light boxes. Placing them to be in line with the floor was initially a nightmare. I couldn't set the first one parallel to the floor, no matter what I tried. And then I remembered back when I was 10, I used to collect frogs and lizards and then play around with them. One day the lizard that I caught bit its own tail off and pretended to be dead. This made me realize how dead my brain was acting at this moment. I went to the open area of the settlement and placed a bunch of light boxes one after another. I was able to select all of them and nicely align them next to the floor. I built the rest of the lights and prepared the letters. Connecting all lights together was a nightmare as usual, but nothing impossible. The upper word is red, while the bottom ones are yellow. Since I wanted to make a billboard that had a double meaning, I also wanted one letter to change on different intervals. Doing this was terribly annoying, and I wanted to find that fucking lizard and shove it up someone's ass. I connected the terminal and interval switcher to the lights in question, and then spent half an hour trying to sync them so the words would change their meanings at proper intervals, but nothing worked, so I decided to leave it as it is. This is the final result, which is kinda messy, but maybe that's a good thing. It is the apocalypse after all. So let's do the tour. The first room is where the visitors will be eating babies. But first let's get to the place where it all starts. This room right here will be used to extract the babies from the women. These machines will make sure the babies come out safe and they will be cleaned up on this table. Shitty and useless things from them will be stored in this cabinet. Once the babies are brought outside, they are logged in on this counter, and this microphone informs the eaters that the babies are coming soon. The speaker is located in the eating room on the table. The babies are put on these gurneys and then pushed through the cleansing area to make sure nothing bad happens to the eaters. In this room, one baby is put in the middle of the table, and two people must stand on the chairs and battle, with the baby being the only available weapon. The person who manages to knock down the other person gets to eat the baby. The people on the couch are either their family or friends cheering for them. This desk is used to process bets and various information regarding the battle. Inside this counter there is a grill. This grill is used when there are extra babies and the settlement workers feel generous. Then they reward all visitors. Let's get to the garage now. This is where the dead women and baby leftovers are placed. The car is then brought out and set on fire to explode. Once the car explodes, the aliens are contacted, and then it is just a matter of time until they come and pick up the sacrifice. They also leave a new car each time they visit. This way the settlement never runs out of cars. In order to call the aliens, all 8 workers need to visit the metal room. This is where one person stands and sends the signal while 3 sit and watch. The other 4 workers use the terminals on the right to make sure the signal gets sent properly. Once they confirm that everything went smoothly, they go to the other 4 terminals and prepare for any potential messages that the aliens send. But before they actually get to the metal room, they need to visit the purification throne dedicated to the alien leader and savior. By going through this process, they swear to make America great again, as did he a long time ago. The next 2 rooms are the bathroom and the bedroom. Nothing special about them really. After going down the stairs, we get to the necrophilia shop. This is where visitors can buy any of these bodies and use them for sexual pleasures. You're probably concerned that there are no coolers and that the bodies will start to smell very quickly. That is absolutely correct. The final room behind this one is reserved for illegal drug shopping, aimed specifically for the necrophiliacs because the dead bodies will decompose, so these drugs will keep those bodies fresh and ready for action. But still smelly. The water supply for the settlement is right here next to the sacrificial area, and it also contains a couple of carrot plants. The aliens never mentioned why carrots, they just said that they like long shapes and the orange color. This is the Trump's Meat Bar, a place where people come to eat babies, buy dead bodies, and hope to meet the savior of the human race, who journeyed to outer space many years ago because the planet ran out of synthetic hair materials. They are all hoping he will return and make them great again, and with each sacrifice his return is more likely. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to suggest ideas for future settlement builds in the comments. I have been Petard, your glorious lord, and may the blessings of Petardia eternally touch your butt. Someone's ass.